Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is episode number 11, the final episode of the Globalisation revision series over here on my channel. If you haven't seen the rest of them, I'll leave the playlist linked up here. Go ahead, binge watch it, whatever. I'm making these because it's exactly what I wanted whilst I was doing my A-levels, like 3 years ago now, but it's exactly what I wanted. And so I thought I'd make it for you guys. Please let me know what topic you'd like to see next. I'm thinking either coasts or regeneration, but it depends what you let me know because I need to film them in advance at some point because that's what I do, and I'm going away for summer. So yes, this is episode number 11. I hope you've enjoyed. Please do subscribe down below because I am going to do the whole specification. Today we're looking at consequences, ethics and sustainability. So stick around, let's talk about this and let's just get straight on into it. Globalisation and a global conscience. Global broadcasting and 24-hour news coverage is making us more aware of global events. The time delay between an event occurring and it being broadcast to the world is constantly decreasing. In some cases, due to rolling news and reporters live at the scene, two can occur simultaneously. The 2004 Boxing Day tsunami and the 2011 Arab Spring and the 2015 Tunisian and Parisian ISIS murderers all reach global TV audiences almost instantly. These images bring consequences. A greater awareness of global events has led to calls for increased rights and other changes across the world. The Arab Spring uprisings brought protesters onto the streets, with, for the first time in Arab countries, women challenging their governments. Organisations such as Amnesty campaign for more human rights as global awareness increases. Environmental pressure groups also challenge the world to find new and better ways of meeting people's needs sustainably. Sustaining globalisation. Many people in high-income countries get used to getting what they want, whatever and whenever they want it. Fresh strawberries in Northern Europe in December. Global supply chains fulfil these demands and seasonal produce is no longer a concern. The UK's supply chain, for example, extends across geographical and seasonal boundaries. So now Kenya, which depend on food exports to support its economy, grow cash crops, often sacrificing its own needs. Ecological footprints. Like most HICs, the UK is living well beyond its environmental means. To supply resources for every country at the UK's current level of consumption would take 3.1 Earths. At current rates of growth in global consumption, UK environmental researchers believe that the world as a whole will need 2 planets worth of resources by 2050. The top 10 countries with the world's largest ecological footprint per capita were Luxembourg, Australia, the USA, Canada, Singapore, Trinidad and Tobago, Oman, Belgium, Sweden and Estonia. To live within the planet's means, the global ecological footprint per capita should equal biocapacity per capita, which is 1.7 global hectares. So Luxembourg, in number 1 position in the table, is currently demanding 9 times more resources and waste disposal facilities than the planet can either regenerate and absorb into the atmosphere. HICs are living beyond their ecological means. Sustainable living. Can globalisation and sustainable development exist side by side? The following solutions are intended to make a difference. 1. Responding globally, transition towns. Some local groups and non-governmental organisations promote local sourcing of goods to increase sustainability. Relocalisation. Totnes in Devon, population of 8,000, was the world's first transition town. Now a global network exists, using the internet and social media to spread the idea of transition. By 2016, transition had become a movement of communities in 50 countries, attempting to reduce their carbon footprints and increase their resilience, the ability to withstand and adapt to shocks. At its heart is the belief that healthy local communities are vital to healthy communities, and that change can be driven by ordinary people. It promotes reducing consumption by repairing or reusing items, reducing waste, pollution and environmental damage, and meeting local needs through local production where possible. In 2012, Bristol introduced the Bristol Pound, a community currency. It encourages people to spend local, independent businesses in Bristol rather than national chain stores or TNCs. However, strategies like this also threaten global economic growth because they reduce the demand for new items from overseas. Most developed economies actually rely on a throwaway culture for their economic growth. Transition brings economic and social as well as environmental benefits. Every £10 spent in local businesses is actually worth £23 to the local economy, through what economists called the multiplier effect, when local employees and suppliers are paid. In that way, local people gain employment as well as involvement in the local economy. However, that same £10 spent in a supermarket is only worth £13 locally, because of the supermarket's profits returning to head office, which might actually be in a different country. There are also disadvantages to the transition approach. Some services, such as transport, are coordinated centrally, and so it's hard to influence them. It's also been argued that doing transition in a big city like London could be difficult. However, there are currently 40 community-scale transition initiatives across London, such as the Crystal Palace Food Market, Brixton Pound and Brixton Energy. Number 2, fair trade. The World Trade Organization policy of trade liberalisation pitches small businesses against much larger trade rivals, and can mean that factory workers or the growers of commodities like coffee receive small shares of the product's value. Fair trade aims to return a bigger portion of the revenue to producers or growers. It's an independent, not-for-profit organisation which certifies products by issuing the Fair Trade mark as a guarantee that they have been ethically produced and that a fair price has been paid to the producers. In 2009, Starbucks served its first fair trade coffees. It claimed to help farmers improve their coffee quality and environmental sustainability, as well as supporting thousands of families. Starbucks Fair Trade certified espresso roast is sourced from only small farms in Guatemala, Costa Rica and Peru. But in 2014, only 8.5% of their coffee was Fair Trade certified. In 2015, Ethical Consumer, not-for-profit cooperative that promotes ethical shopping, gave coffee retailers scores out of 20 for using products such as Fair Trade. The marks received were generally not very high. 3. Ethical shopping. The UK's retail sector is becoming increasingly aware of ethical issues in shopping. For example, M&S now only sells fair trade teas and coffees, plus naturally dyed clothes and fabrics made by small businesses overseas, in order to reduce its carbon emissions. All supermarket chains are now displaying ethical shopping credentials for those who want to make a difference. Local produce, such as farm-aware meat and name suppliers on food products, is returning to shelves, and farmers' markets are commonplace. But are there any downsides to ethical shopping? Buying organic destroys more forests. Less use of fertilisers and pesticides means that more land is needed to produce the same amount. Fair trade does raise farmers' income, but it also increases potential overproduction, causing prices to fall, which means that farmers are essentially no better off. Buying local minimises food miles and helps the local economy. But most consumers still use cars to go shopping and therefore end up using more energy than home deliveries from supermarkets. And growing cash crops, even under fair trade conditions, can mean that some farmers do not end up growing enough food to feed themselves or their families. Waste and recycling. Local authorities manage the dispersal of the UK's waste. NGOs such as Keep Britain Tidy try to alter behaviour by campaigning for beach and country cleanliness. In 2012, the UK generated 200 million tonnes of waste, half of which came from the construction industry. Households generated 14%. Since 2004, the line in which other European countries' waste management and recycling in the UK has shown a steady improvement. In 2013 to 14, the amount of waste managed by English local authorities was 25.6 million tonnes. That was 9.1% lower than in 2000 to 2001, in spite of a 9-year increase in the population in the same period. In 2014 to 2015, the total amount of waste recycled, including composting, was 43.7% of the total, compared to 12% in 2000. In 2000 to 2001, 79% of local authority waste was sent to landfill. By 2013 to 2014, that figure had fallen to 31%. The amount of local authority waste being incinerated has also more than doubled since 2000 to 2001 to 24%. However, local recycling percentages vary between local authorities. South Oxfordshire District Council achieved 67.3% in 2014 to 2015, and 9 other councils achieved over 60%. But the London Borough Councils of Newsham and Lewisham were the lowest, with just 18% in 2013 to 2014. Wales had the highest recycling rate of the 4 UK constituent countries between 2010 and 2014, achieving 55%. And that is the end of the Globalisation series. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. As I say, please do let me know what topic you'd like to see next. I still have no idea which one I'm going to choose. I'm still 50-50. But yeah, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe down below while you're down there, and please share this with a friend. The more people that see it, the better. Essentially, this is here to help you guys. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out. As I say, I am a university student, and so I do have a bit of knowledge on this kind of thing. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for coming along for the Globalisation series, and see you same time, same place next week, Monday, 4:30 PM. Bye guys.